weeks ago I was in Exmouth Golf and it was 49 degrees. Here it's minus 49.
But it is certainly a lot wetter here than it is in Queensland.
Well, sunny bloody Brisbane, I mean, it's a bit different. It's about 20 degrees colder.
I don't know what you're talking about, the weather. Dunedin's known for its weather. I know it's not particularly good, but what about the roads we've got? And where do you get a classic rally? Certainly in New Zealand where you get so many entries. So that certainly tells us that the people love the roads and love the city.
Dunedin might not boast hot summer nights or cloudless winter days, but the locals wouldn't swap it for anything. Yeah, right. Whatever the case, there's a special attraction about the city nestled in the base of the Otago Peninsula. And one weekend a year, a group of rally enthusiasts bring out their champions of another era to be part of one of the best classic rallies in the world. And they come from all parts of the globe. Finland's Pasi Hagstrom is back for a second time defending the title he won last year in the Rosendale BDA escort. But why?
Definitely not the weather at the moment, but it's the BDA and the team spirit what we have with the Rosendale team. It's very nice, and nice dinners every evening and everything. Everybody's so familiar and it's not so stressful as normal rallying.
Pasi Hagstrom's day job as a full-time WRC test driver and his country of origin equip him well for rallying in Otago. Last year he swept the field clean despite driving without any knowledge of the road ahead. This year, under changed rules, Hagstrom is back and driving with pace notes. But his competition is stronger than ever. Top Aussie and Kiwi drivers, even a Scotsman of no small repute.
I was very happy when Rosendale came along and asked if I would like to come and drive their BDA because I've never driven one really until about 2 years ago and thoroughly enjoyed it. It sort of created a spark in my life again, so I was glad to come, and I like New Zealand as well.
Well, 1984 was the last time I drove one of these cars, so I'd say it's going to be fairly interesting and exciting. You know, like Jimmy Macrae, he'll be at home in all this weather, so you know, he's driven one of these things just not so long ago. But so I think we'll have to take it easy for a couple of stages. You know, just get a feel for it. It's just another event to have some fun on and think about old times.
This year's Dunlop Otago Classic Rally boasts a record field of 37 entries, an impressive 10 from overseas. Joining Hagstrom and Macrae is multiple Australia Rally champion Ross Dunkerton in what can only be described as a hybrid.
Yeah, it's certainly a hybrid. It's a Toyota Corolla of about the 1980s vintage with a 13B peripheral port engine in it, which is actually sort of moved back into the driver's compartment, so I can actually talk to that. And really it was actually a circuit racing car and it was quite successful.
Another Australian rally champion, Greg Carr, is driving a replica Fed 131 Abarth, built and owned by Bill Dunn from Canberra.
I don't know what the roads will be like. I mean, obviously they're going to be wet, but how slippery, I don't know. But that's rallying. I mean, that's the way it is, the way the sport's always been. It doesn't worry me, except like now I look in the back of my car, we've got some water coming in from somewhere, so we'll have to sort that out.
John Spencer is back for his second Dunlop Otago Classic. He turned his dirt rally Datsun H510 into a tarmac car and won the classic Adelaide Car Rally 4 years ago, but returned to the dirt, placing third in this event in 2003.
It did the job there, or as Dungo would say, the JOB. I'm not quite sure whether it's up to the JOB here, but we'll be giving it our best shot.
Keith Callanan's back with the big Monaro, but is sceptical about his chances.
A 2-tonne car with 540 horsepower and the rain isn't exactly the best formula.
The Kiwi lineup is pretty impressive too. Aside from Allport, Ashton Wood will campaign as Famous Works BDA, running under its original Massport colours. As expected, the local heroes, Dean and Glenn Buste, are driving similar BDA escorts, Dean considered a strong chance on his local turf.
Here we are for stage 1 of the Classic International, Warri Flat, famous stage, about 12 kilometres, starts in the forest, winding its way up to quite a high point. Heaps of spectators, then a very fast run down through the forest to the finish. All pretty scary stuff. Just around the corner, a rather deep creek crossing. Woohoo!
In typical style, Dunkerton blasts off for his first real test in the high-powered Corolla. The introduction of pace notes this year seems to be a mixed blessing. Those accustomed to notes making quick time through the first stage, but not everyone has it together just yet.
Left 3 100. There's nobody behind you, is there?
Before the end of the stage, Dunkerton is grappling with engine problems.
What's that? The thing's going. The fuel pump can't keep the fuel up to it.
Despite almost completely stopping mid-stage, Dunkerton is still only 20 seconds off the pace.
I think the problem is the fuel pump couldn't keep up with the amount of fuel that was going through the engine. Probably because I've actually got it buried to the floor and the fuel pump's saying, "Ah!"
While Dunkerton laments his misfortune, the others are tackling the second special stage out on the Taieri Plains in the Otago Coast State Forest. Classic events are all about history, cars and drivers, but not necessarily teamed up together again. Take Rob Murray and his mainframe Mazda RX-7, the very one that Neil Orpord drove to success in the 1986 New Zealand Championship. Murray's conscious of the car's heritage, but is still pushing the limits at times.
This is a special event down here. The roads are excellent. They organise it really well. And, you know, it's a good opportunity for people like myself who've got these cars tucked away in the workshop, you know, to bring them out and have a play, you know.
When we were first approached to try this, it was something that we felt fitted with ourselves, and we really enjoyed the relationship with Otago, the Classic Rally, and as it's built up over the years, it's been fantastic.
A feature of the Dunlop Otago Classic is the Central Service Park at Lake Waihola, where teams come and go throughout the weekend. It's not quite so inviting today, but it's sure a welcome stop for those in need of mechanical attention and a chance for teams to chew the fat about the first couple of stages.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Yeah. I thought the 35k stage would really knock me around, but just enjoyed it immensely and got to the end and sort of thought, why are we stopping so soon?
Very greasy in the centre of that last stage, but there's a tricky right three about 3k's from the end, which we dropped the left-hand rear wheel into a big hole, and there was a point when I thought we were going to have an early shower. Quite pleased to be here.
Yeah, that was a good stage, except we caught the car in front of us, and our wipers managed to stop at the same time, so we did the whole stage with no wipers, the mud on the windscreen from the car in front, and the sun. So yeah, hard work.
Went into a 4 right, way too fast, and through the fence, barbed wire gun, cost us windscreen, and he's going to be able to keep going. Okay? Yeah. No, we'll keep it going. Keep it going until she stops.
Greg Carr's Fiat Abarth sounds fine through Special Stage 2, but by service, it's sounding decidedly sick.
The engine dropped power, so we just got to see what it is. Hopefully it's nothing major.
About 3/4 of the way down the stage and there were quite long straights, and I just got suckered into going too fast into a sharp right-hander, and the car just went straight ahead and over a muddy culvert, rolled onto its side and through a fence post.
Yeah, no, when I got it to the point where probably 2/3 of that stage it was all right. Yes.
Even Neil Allport is finding his BDA Escort a handful. Out front, local Dean Buist has set the pace in Special Stage 1, 5 seconds clear of the Flying Finn. Both are clear of the field by at least 15 seconds. The roles are reversed in Special Stage 2. Hagstrom has Buist by 7 seconds, and we're set for a battle royale. Until Special Stage 3.
We were driving quite slowly into the ford where there was quite a lot of water, and the engine just stopped, and we have to wait, I think, 3.5 minutes to get it dry again and keep going. But that's it. So now we just have to try to keep going and try to close the gap. It's a long one, but have to try to go as flat as we can.
Hagstrom's time penalty leaves the door open for Dean Buist and the other Team Rosendale Escort in the hands of multiple British rally champion Jimmy Macrae. Pasi's demise in the Ford is Buist's opportunity to lead the rally. But it's short-lived.
We just come down a sort of a steepish hill into a right-hander, and then round there fine into a left, and it just wouldn't turn in, and ended up down in the water table, and yeah, couldn't get out again. It had broken the bottom arm.
Neil Allport's fast time in Special Stage 3 promotes him to the lead ahead of his old RX-7 in the hands of Robert Murray. By the end of Special Stage 4, positions are unchanged, but Jimmy Macrae is settling into the Rosendale Escort and has equalled Murray for outright second as the cars return to the service park. The rains have abated, but it's still wet.
Underfoot's very, very wet and very slippery in places, and the road's cutting up quite bad in some of the narrow stuff, but that's been good, thoroughly enjoying it.
Does it bring back some old experiences for you?
It does, yeah. I mean, that goes back to the Chevette and the Opel days, you know, because I didn't really drive Escorts then, but I wish I'd driven an Escort then, because I think they were better than I drove.
30, long 4 right minus, tightens 4 left plus. 30, finish. 100, 4 left minus.
Ashton Wood has the match of most of this field in his Massport BDA, but Special Stage 4 has slowed him up.
The last 5 Ks we drove at about 50 K because the had a hell of a vibration in it, expecting 4 link arms to be broken or shock absorbers or the drive shaft bent. None of those things. The back wheels had filled up with dirt and it was just shaking like hell.
Glenn Buist has been having his share of wheel trouble, but his problems didn't end there.
The tyre come off the rim, so we pulled over and got it fixed. Then we just idling down the road, putting the seatbelts on, and the car from behind us went past, which was fine. And we caught him at about 1.5 kilometres, and his co-driver wasn't looking out the rear vision mirror like you should do. And I followed him for a further 4 Ks. In the finish, I just ran him down. Like, I didn't have any choice. Took out the windscreen, both headlights, the radiator. But time's time, you know. So you just do what you got to do when you got to do it, and that's what we did.
Fats Little is a long way from home, but don't be taken in by the accent.
I am accustomed to the weather being a palm, but a long way from home as in Perth, yes I am, but I firmly believe this is one of the best rallies you can do in the world, so it's the only one to do every year. This is it, so here we are. We were having a good little dip, going good, but unfortunately an alternator bracket's fractured on it and the alternator fell off, so we got it to the end of SS3 and that's as far as we dare take it because we didn't have a fan belt. It's got a new engine, so we certainly don't want to wreck an engine.
Special Stage 5 Big Bush is a repeat of Special Stage 2 through the Otago Coast State Forest, and by now everyone's got the advantage of knowing the roads. Keith Callanan is still powering the big Monaro around to the crowd's satisfaction. His times might not be matching the Finn, who's out to pull back the 3 minutes he lost earlier in the day.
It's nothing to lose anymore, so we just need to keep on going flat out and try to catch the guys as much as possible. I just try to push as hard as I can in the end. I think in the last one we get almost a minute already, but that was easier because it was second time through the same stage, so I have a good commitment and good push a lot. But we will see. We counted, I think earlier it was 1 second per kilometer. How much we need to be faster, so try to do that. Yeah, the roads are nice. I mean, it's once you can get the trust with the notes, then it's absolutely like good fun, and also the car is behaving so nicely, so it's good fun.
Gary Adcock has been working away in his Triumph TR8 all day. Like the Escorts, these cars are real entertainers on dirt, just with that throatier V8 roar.
The VDAs and the V8s are certainly good to watch and they're more fun to drive. After stage 3 I think we were 4th overall, but I see Neil Allport was stopped in the last stage, so that'll elevate us one more place. So you never know who's sneaking up from the back.
At the start of the 5th stage, it started running like on about 2.5, 3 cylinders, or just really flat. And then 4K from the end, it just completely stopped. We thought at the time that was a fuel pump problem.
In fact, Allport has been sidelined with a broken distributor rotor, leaving Scotland's Jimmy Macrae to take the outright lead.
Opens, tightens to very long, 3 right, 30, 3 left tightens. Opens, don't go wide, 100. Gate 3 right and junction, 150.
John Spencer is the highest placed Australian, and he's relishing the chance to get to the final stage of the day.
There's 2 big things with this rally. One is to get to Forbury Park tonight, and the other one is to get to that Bitumen Super Special Stage tomorrow. So looks like we're going to get our first wish and try and survive tomorrow to get to that Bitumen stage.
It's like velodrome cycle racing on dirt, only it's faster. And there's the odd chicane to make life interesting. There's always plenty of action and a big crowd on hand to witness it. Results at the end of leg 1 of the Dunlop Otago Classic Rally look like this. The Rosendale Escort in the hands of the Scotsman holds a 1-minute lead over Kiwi Robert Murray in the main freight Mazda. Amazingly, Pasi Hagstrom has hauled back in 2 of the 3 minutes he lost and currently sits 3rd outright. The TR8 of Gary Adcock finishes in 4th for the day, ahead of Southland's Duncan McCrosty in the ex-factory Nissan Bluebird. Ashton Wood's Massport BDA is 20 seconds clear of the first Australian, John Spencer, in the Datsun P510. Nelson's Chris Barnett's excursion through the fence hasn't stopped him from claiming 8th. John Metherall and Glenn Buist round out the top 10 fastest cars at the end of the first leg of the Dunlop Otago Classic Rally for 2005. If the hopes of yesterday's casualties were riding on the weather, then today we're in for some great rallying. Gone are the wet, miserable conditions of yesterday. In its place, a cold, crisp frost just waiting for the sun to burst through the morning mist. Despite the huge mechanical carnage in leg 1, And in the spirit of classic rallying, everyone fronts for leg 2. And like the weather, things are looking brighter.
We've had an engine transplant from some car that was at the back of the workshop under another car. They've worked all night and they've done a fantastic job. And we're going to go out and see what we can do to it today.
The boys worked all day, found another head. How long it lasts, we don't know, but we're in it. That's good. So hopefully we'll do a few stages and get the feel of it again. With luck, fingers crossed, we'll get to the finish of today.
What it's about, the spirit of it?
Well, we've come all this way and we want to do the rally. As I said at the start, our aim was to finish, and we're going to try and finish.
I spoke to a couple of people last night and they said, hey, it'd be really disappointing if the car's going and you don't start today. And then I thought about it and I thought, well, yeah, this is classic rallying. I think that we've got to come back out and have another go today.
We're absolutely freezing out here first thing this morning. It's nothing like the North Queensland weather. Oh well, we're here to have a bit of fun.
Philip Mason might be unaccustomed to wearing a beanie, but he's here for the fun and the experience, and that's exactly what he's been getting.
The guys who leased us the car, they said that they'd give us the full experience, and the full experience meant as much adrenaline as they could give us. So I'm sure they left one of the bonnet pins out in the middle of the first stage, just as we selected 4th gear and we're accelerating quite hard. The bonnet completely flew up and yeah, we had nowhere to go. We stopped without hitting anything. Spectators were running everywhere and managed to put it down and finish the stage. But yeah, certainly scared the shit out of us.
Waipori Gorge is the first of 7 stages in leg 2. Pasi Hagstrom is laid back about his chances of regaining the lead from Rosendale teammate Jimmy Macrae.
Yeah, try to keep going and we'll see what's the results in the end.
Keith Callanan blasts the Monaro off the line with wife Marianne pointing the way.